My friend Margaret and I, we've talked about going to the beach, and we never seem to get around to it, but it's a beautiful afternoon here where we live, and we're thinking Kincardine. That's only an hour and a little bit away from us. But before we head out, we'd really like to know sort of what the conditions might be up there, if it's very windy, if there's many waves, because we might just change our mind. But my son did tell me about a site, and it's called, now let me see, if I go into Safari, it's called Seagull something. But isn't that a wonderful name to be able to look up something about water? I mean, we all know there's seagulls, certainly around the Great Lakes. So I've just gone into Safari here, and I'm going to put in Seagull, and it came up right away, seagull.gloss.org. That's exactly the site he told me about. So now let's just see what happens if we go into there. And I see a search bar, and I'm just going to see what happens if I click on this map, and I have the Great Lakes up here, and I want, obviously, Lake Huron with Kincardine on it, and if I zoom in, I see Kincardine, and it's just about part way up, just as I thought, about an hour and a half away from here. And so, I think I'd like to know a little more about what's going on. And so if I click on that dot, it comes up with another little marker, and it says that's at buoy 1, and there's an arrow, and if I click on that arrow, there it is. It brings up all of these things that I've wanted to know: the wind speed, the water temperature, the air, not the water temperature, the air temperature, and the wind speed. So that's just perfect. Those are all the things that I wanted to observe. And so now let's just find out a little more here if we can. We'll see if we can get a little more specific. And I've just clicked another little icon here, and it brings me to Lake Erie, Lake Huron, Lake Michigan, Lake Ontario, and Lake Superior. So we want Lake Huron. And if I click on that and scroll along, I get water current, surface temperature, wind speed, all of those things that I wanted, which is absolutely perfect. So let's just see now if we go back to that, and we want our wind speed here, and let's just see what we get. I think I must have clicked on something else here, but we're just going to go back. There it is, I've got it. The wind speed. Let's see what that says now. Oh my goodness, it's an interactive map, and I've got all these lovely colors on the lake, and if I zoom right in on Kincardine, I've got all these little lines going along, and but that shows me that the wind speed is offshore, it's in a green area, and it's just 5 knots. And so that's pretty good. That's just a very light breeze. So now let's see if we can go back, and we'll see if we can find anything else out here. Well, let's look at water currents. And so we'll just get a little more specific about that. And the lake now appears in different shades of blue with a bit of green. And once again, all these little interactive lines. And that shows me that the water currents are offshore again. And we're in a very low area of the blue, which means basically no wave action at all. So, I think overall, Margaret and I should just pack our little bag and perhaps just maybe put some pâté, some cheese and crackers in it, maybe a little glass of wine, and I think we'll head out. I think I've done pretty well. I'm going to be 83 in another week, and if I can navigate it, I think anybody can.